Hi, I'm George Jackson and I'll be doing my P1 and P2, Unit 13. So we were told to look at two selected organisations, so we had Shiplake and McDonald's. So this is the recruitment process. So number one, so if someone quits, they need to look for a new person. Number two, maybe they want to improve statistics in their school department. Number three, look for someone else in the department to take their place. Number four, if not found recruitment internally, start the external process by putting a job onto job centres and recruitment agencies on consultants, or get consultants to do it for you. They need to be number five. They need to be aware with the amount of money you're going to spend on the process and the time, because time and money cost so much. But so this is only for a small company like Shiplake, and these are the 5 stages they'll look at before they will actually recruit someone. So for McDonald's, it's a larger brand, a much bigger brand. So obviously they can do a lot more. So number one, so someone was fired. Number two, they need to find someone to fill in the important role. So number three, they'll look for all the options internally, and maybe host some interviews for the position. So if none were found internally inside the business, a recruitment agency will be hired to save time, because time equals money. 5, the way out. You have to weigh out the time and cost, the correlation with the importance of jobs. So if it's a really important job like a CEO role, you obviously can spend a lot more time trying to figure out who's going to get that, because you want to make sure they are the right person. Okay, so for P2, there's obviously a lot of legal issues that go behind recruiting people from a very early stage. So here's some of these laws that you have to go through before hiring someone. So you have the Sex Discrimination Act of 1995 and 1997, and basically telling us that you can't discriminate against someone's sex when looking at hiring someone. And then you have the Race Relations Act of 1992. This is basically saying you can't really discriminate due to someone's ethnic background or race. So the Discrimination Act of 1997, that refers to it. Then the Equal Pay Act of 1970. This is basically saying that men and women need to be paid equally, because they are equal. Because before 1970, men were getting paid more than women. And then you have the Disability Discrimination Acts of 1995 and 2005. And basically, this means you can't really discriminate against people who have disabilities. That might stop them working because it's unfair on them, and it can really have an effect on a lot of different areas. The European Working Time Directive. This basically is talking about how many hours you can work a day. So you can't work your employees ridiculously hard for like 18 hours a day, because it's against the law. And then you have the Employment Act of 2002. And this is what it says. It says, an act to make a provisional for status rights to parental and adoption leave and pay, to amend the laws relating to the statute of maternity leave and pay, to amend the Employment Tributes of Act 1996, to make provision for the use of statutory produce in relation to employee distributes, to amend the law relating to particular of employment, to make provision and compromise agreements, to make provision for questionnaires in relation to equal pay, to make a provision to connection with trade union learning representatives, to amend section 110 of the Employment Rights Act of 1996, to make provisions about fixed term work, to make provision about flexible working, to amend the law relating to maternal allowance, to make provision for work-focused interviews for partners of benefits claimants, to make provisions about the use of information on relating to the employment and training, and for connecting purposes. And then you have the national minimum wage. So obviously, when you're an apprentice currently, you can get paid $3.30 an hour. If you're under 18, it's $3.87 an hour. 18 to 20, it's $5.30. Now the current rate for 21 and over is $6.70. This rate is, and then you have the Data Protection Act of 1998. It's basically suggesting that you can't really release any of your employees' personal information out to other companies because it's against the law. Then you also have ethnic issues you have to look at before when you're hiring someone. So you got repeat questions, so people get the same situation, so you can actually measure your reaction and you can see which one, the way that you wanted the employee you wanted to react to. The board that you're interviewing needs to have a balance of gender and ethnic backgrounds. So this means you need to have like 2 men, 2 women, and then 2 different ethnic backgrounds. And you cannot ask any personal questions to the candidate that is coming up for the job. Okay, thank you. This was my P1 and P2 for Unit 13 for my Business Btec subsidiary diploma.